Table and the candy bar, it's pretty crazy, but wonderful. So there's dessert before and after. I'm Michael Kasparian, and I want to welcome you on behalf of the Board of Directors, the staff, and the volunteers of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce for the 2025 Outstanding Citizen of the Year Award dinner. Our recipient, Kathy Walrath, here with us tonight. Yay! And she brought a great entourage of her grandchildren, which is amazing. So fun to have kids in the house, so this is good. So when Grandma Nana comes up, you gotta be loud, right? You gotta be loud. All right. Speaking of loud, what we don't want are loud cell phones. So if you could turn those off, we'd really appreciate it. And you can feel free to move around. We try to keep it casual. I'd like to offer a sincere thank you to our event sponsor, Cape Cod 5. It's been doing this for us for a long time, and they are part of the culprits that provide all the candy for you on your table, so you have them to thank for that. They serve as our community sponsor and have always been here at this event. It's really amazing. We'd also like to thank the Steamship Authority, who are also guilty by bringing in the candy bar, of which there's still a lot of candy over there, so that's going to be emptied. And I want to thank the Steamship Authority for being here. They have a new boat coming in tonight, so that's pretty exciting. It's going to be a new boat coming in, pretty wonderful. FCTV is here filming, and they might be taking your pictures, so make sure you're smiling during the whole thing. And I'd like to thank Jay Sheldon, Heather Carroll, and the entire staff here at the Seacrest Beach Resort, who work so hard on this event for us every year. It's really amazing having you here, isn't it? And I'd like to thank Pat Ryan, musician extraordinaire. I don't know where Pat is, for playing that music early. It was pretty amazing. Wonderful. Before we start, I wanted to just kind of make a brief report about, we had our annual meeting, as you know, which happens usually around 4 o'clock prior to this event. And we had a special meeting also this evening. And that special meeting was to ratify a motion for the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce to merge with the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce. And I'm very pleased to say that that motion was unanimously approved by the members of the Chamber. And to that end, I'd like to say that we have with us in the house today Paul Niedzwiecki, who's the president and CEO of the Cape Cod Chamber, and the staff of the Cape Cod Chamber here at this table. So our new team members, for those of you who have any questions, you can always contact us, because tonight's about our Citizen of the Year. But this is going to be an amazing opportunity for Falmouth, for the entire Falmouth community, to take advantage of the resources, the know-how, and really do more, take the regional approach and solve the issues at a local level. We couldn't be happier. We've been working on this for a year, and my heartfelt thank goes out to our board of directors who are instrumental in helping this happen, particularly our board chair, Karen Ronaldo, who I'll be calling up in a minute. Cape Cod Chamber Board Chair Lisa Oliver, who's with us this evening as well. And on a personal note, I'd like to a special shout out to Bert Tallerman from Cape Cod 5, who's not here, who was instrumental in helping me a little bit. He was a great sounding board for me, and as a personal friend of over 20 years, he was a big help to me as well. And then also to the board of the Cape Cod Chamber, who also unanimously approved this. So it's been working. It's for the best for everybody, and thank you all for your support. So we don't want to take the wind out of Kathy's sails, so we're going to move into our program now, and I'm going to ask our chairman of the board, Karen Ronaldo, to come on up and join me at the podium. All right, Karen.
Thank you very much, Michael, and thank you all for that warm reception. At this time, I would like everyone to please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Gonna go right into it, I think. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please remain standing for the invocation. Tonight, offering the invocation, Reverend Peter Feldman Mahan of the Church of the Messiah in Woods Hole. Please welcome Reverend Peter.
Okay, let me get out of your way, too.
Good evening. If you would please join me in prayer. Let's take a moment to gather ourselves in gratitude. We gathered today people of many backgrounds, beliefs, and hopes, united in appreciation. We give thanks for Kathy and those who take on the mantle of leadership, whose service has shaped our community for the better. Tonight we celebrate joy and respect, leadership and advocacy, and a call to serve others. We honor Kathy and all those who work to the common good. Their vision not only furthers unity, it is love in motion. We know this work isn't easy, and we give thanks. We also give thanks for those who helped prepare this meal for us. From every hand who's touched it, from seed to seedling, to plant to produce, and all that have cooked it and washed the dishes for us. We give thanks for all, with gratitude and hope. So may it be.
Everyone can please be seated. Can you hear me now? Is the microphone working? I have a pretty loud voice, big mouth, however you want to say it. We want to warmly recognize the following dignitaries who have joined us, who will be represented this evening. Mass State Senator Dylan Fernandez could not be here, but Jack Richardson is here in his stead. Jack will be an incoming member of the Select Board after May. Correct. Wonderful. Congratulations. Youngest member ever, 23 years old. Am I right? 22 years old. That's vision, right? Looking ahead. It's amazing. An old favorite, Mass State Representative David Vieira. And our newest member of the state representative, Thomas Moakley. You're here as well. Wonderful. And representing the Falmouth Select Board member Bob Miscali. Hello, Bob. I'd like to also recognize the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, and I'd ask those who are here to please rise. As you know, our chamber is committed to Falmouth, and as such, we take great care to include members from the broad community. We're proud to say that not only are our businesses represented, but the entire community. Hence why we have such a large reach, and while we're able to touch everyone regardless of whether they're in business, nonprofit, and that couldn't be better represented than our board of directors that has representation from Falmouth Public Schools, Falmouth Police, Falmouth Hospital, Woods Hole Oceanographic representing the scientific community, as well as our 3 local banks and our nonprofit organizations. So because of that, I think that the Chamber has been able to have this great vision, and it's this board of directors that actually has selected our Citizen of the Year. So I want to give them the recognition for their wisdom in selecting someone so deserving of this honor. So thank you, directors. It's time for our award presentation, and I'd like to turn it back over to our board chair, Karen Ronaldo.
Thank you, Michael. I don't think your papers are any different from mine,
Not at
so
all.
I'll go with
Yeah.
yours. The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce annually acknowledges and pays tribute to a citizen who has made a positive and lasting impact on the community through his or her participation in a broad scope of activities, and whose commitment to the town has been demonstrated by many years of service beyond his or her profession. Thank you.
Good job.
As you know, tonight we celebrate an outstanding citizen who over time has exemplified the very attributes we seek to honor. A person well known to many for her professional accomplishments and widespread contributions to the betterment of society. She is a model citizen, admired and esteemed for successfully balancing her devotion to family and friends with years of professional integrity and tireless civic participation, helping people along the way, in many cases quietly and without any fanfare or recognition. Please welcome to the lectern our 2025 Outstanding Citizen of the Year, Kathy Walrath.
She's still going to read to you all your things. Come on up. All right, Karen, I think you want to present this.
Okay.
Yeah, here we
It's a
go.
little bit out of the order, but that's fine.
Here we go. Here
Give you
is your,
something to hold.
Yes.
Kathy, it is my honor to present you our Outstanding Citizen of the Year on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. Congratulations. Now, you have to be quiet while we embarrass you a little bit.
Okay.
Kathy was born in Chicago, where she spent her childhood and good portion of her adult life surrounded by the vibrant culture and diverse communities of the city and surrounding suburbs. Her family played a significant role in shaping her early years, providing her with a solid foundation of values and support. Growing up, she was always curious and eager to learn, which led her to pursue her education with great enthusiasm. Kathy received her bachelor's degree in science from St. Xavier University, where she developed a passion for healthcare and helping others. This passion drove her to further her education, and she earned her master's degree from the University of Illinois. Those formative years were filled with experiences that shaped her character and prepared her for a fulfilling career in nursing. Her healthcare executive experience in the latter part of her career further developed leadership, project management, and strategic planning skills. Colleagues and leaders throughout her academic and professional careers encouraged and supported her involvement with the community. Kathy and her husband, Tom, were married in Chicago and raised their 3 wonderful children, Tom, Megan, and Maureen, just outside the city. Both valued community participation. Kathy was active in Scouts, youth sports, and their church. Traveling and family vacations were and continue to be a significant part of their life. Their adventures on Cape Cod, which began in 1985, led to the decision to make Falmouth their retirement home. In 2015, Kathy retired, and they made the 1,000-mile drive to the East Coast. Her 6 beautiful grandchildren, Evelyn, Finn, Liam, Jack, Bird, and Teddy, strengthened her ability to play, laugh, and hug, continuing to provide ongoing development of those skills along the endless entertainment. Kathy has been an active member of the Falmouth Walk Committee since 2016, raising funds that support Falmouth charities. In 2016, she also joined the Friends of Nobska Light and currently serves as president. In her spare time, Kathy enjoys assisting her husband with a Chicago-style hot dog cart, which they frequently offer for charitable events. She is honored to serve the community and is committed to demonstrating the value of service to her children and grandchildren. I would like now to invite our elected officials who have a proclamation or citations to the lectern to honor our Citizen of the Year.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Thomas Moakley. I'm privileged to be the new state representative for Martha's Vineyard, Falmouth, and Nantucket, joined by Representative Dave Vieira from the T-Ticket, Dave from T-Ticket, and Jack Richardson representing Senator Dylan Fernandez, and soon representing all of us in Falmouth on the select board. And, you know, David and I were just sort of competing about hoping that maybe you're in my district or maybe you're in his district. So hopefully you're one of my constituents.
You have a foot in both. Between the association and foot in both. Yeah.
I'm a son of the Falmouth Theater Guild treasurer, a son of a late Northeast Fisheries Science Center captain, grandson of the principal of East Falmouth and T-Ticket Schools, grandson of a local attorney. So, our Christmas gatherings were sort of like, the West Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. So it's a big, but there's so much of Falmouth that comes to the State House with Representative Vieira and I, because as people are talking about the issues that are facing your town, 9 times out of 10 we say, well, there's this incredible organization in Falmouth that does this, and you guys should really check that out. And what an example organizations like Falmouth Walk and the Friends of Nobska Light are to it, and how iconic Nobska is to my district and to our community. So I thank you so much for what you've done. And on behalf of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, I'm privileged, along with Representative Vieira, to present this to you. And I'll read the proclamation. Be it known hereby that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Kathy Walrath in recognition of being nominated for 2025 Outstanding Citizen of the Year. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors, given this 8th day of May 2025, signed by the Speaker of the House, Ronald Mariano, as well as Representative David Vieira and myself. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we had a wonderful background bio of Kathy and her family. And as 3 elected officials, or 2 elected officials and a soon-to-be elected official, born and raised in Falmouth, we have a wash ashore. But we have a wash ashore who came to Falmouth and embraced our community, embraced our values and her family, and rose to the level of being recognized tonight as a Citizen of the Year. When Thomas and I have the pleasure to walk onto the floor of the House each day, we look up to the rostrum on the left, and there is a mural. And that mural is of John Winthrop. He was the first governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. And it's right after he got off the Arbella, where he gave a sermon, "The City Upon a Hill, where the light will shine, and all the eyes will be upon it." And so tonight we're going to recognize a wash ashore to Falmouth, who's part of a community effort leading the charge as president to keep our beacon of light, our city upon a hill, and our community at Nobska shining with the arts community, with the maritime community, and with the broader community. And so, Kathy, from a native to a wash ashore, thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. And let's keep that beacon upon the hill.
Hello. So now I get to present a citation from the upper chamber of the House of Representatives.
Call it the other chamber.
Upper chamber. Whenever I have to speak for the Senate at these events, I always open with, no one really wants to hear a politician speak, so you really don't need to hear a political staffer speak, but I only have 2 more weeks on that line, unfortunately. Senator Fernandez is in Boston today. He wished he could be here. The Senate is taking up the budget, and it's very important, to get funding for Falmouth and for all of the district. So he dispatched me to be here today. I'll keep it brief. Falmouth, as Thomas Ches said, there's no shortage of impactful groups and community leaders that really we're one of a kind in the Commonwealth and the country for that matter when it comes to the level of connectedness we have. And Kathy, you've really shown that in the way you've had your hand in a number of different efforts across town. As Rep Vieira says, it's tough being a wash ashore to get in here. It really is. And another person from Chicago making history today. Another one happened. Some worldwide importance, but, equally as important. And I think it shows that the laws now is ketchup does not belong on hot dogs. Is what we're at today. Exactly. I grew up right off Main Street. My family owned the Elmarch Inn for nearly a century. So what the chamber has done is really fantastic, and it'll be an honor to serve on the select board, and I look forward to one really serving this community, but two, breaking citizen of last year, Troy Clarkson, who's hiding in the back somewhere, breaking his record for the youngest member. So thank you, Troy. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends congratulations to Kathy Walrath for your dedication and service to the community and earning the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce 2025 Citizen of the Year Award, signed by President of the Senate, Karen E. Spilka, the clerk, and by Senator Dylan Fernandez.
Thank you.
Okay, well, good evening. I'm Bob Muscali, and I have had the privilege of the past 3 years working side by side with Kathy as a member of the board of the Friends of Nobska Light, and seeing how dedicated she is, how much a workaholic she is, and how she has pushed the Nobska forward to be a big part of this community. So that was my privilege. Tonight I have the honor as a member of the select board to give you a proclamation that was adopted by the board on Monday evening. And I'll just read a little bit of it. Whereas Kathy Walrath is a model citizen, admired and esteemed for successfully balancing her devotion to family with years of integrity, tireless civic participation, and commitment to community progress. And whereas Kathy Walrath's many accomplishments and contributions, singularly and collectively, are memorialized in the minds of those she has reached and chronicled on the pages of organizations across the town. And as she continues to make a difference in the town of Falmouth, we do hereby declare this citizen is worthy of high praise and great recognition. Now, therefore, we, Nancy Robbins Taylor, Edward P. Zielinski II, Douglas G. Brown, Robert P. Muscali, Heather M. Goldstone, are members of the Select Board of the Town of Falmouth, by authority vested in us, do proclaim Kathy Walrath, Falmouth 2025 Outstanding Citizen of the Year, from one wash ashore to another. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Okay.
My speech is here.
There you go. Absolutely.
Hi, Jack. This has to be an informal speech. Look in front of us. I am deeply honored to be the 2025 Citizen of the Year, and so grateful that my family, my friends, and the volunteers I work with are here with me tonight, including a very special little girl who is celebrating her birthday today. Happy 8th birthday, Evelyn. We love you very much. We were supposed to be up in Evelyn's house tonight with celebrating a birthday, but this came up and she says, "No, Nana, we have to go." I'm like, okay, we'll be there. This recognition, it's not just a testament to my work, but it's a testament to to the collective spirit of our Falmouth community that believes in the power of giving back. I look around and see so many of you who give so much time and support so many different organizations here in Falmouth and across the Cape. As I admire you, and as a child I admired people like you who gave their time, I had an uncle, Uncle Ed, who helped build our church, helped build our school, our grammar school. A good friend of our family, Mr. Oscar Lunas, who coached football, and his wife, who was always up at the church doing something. And my mother, who simply gave back by baking when there was a fundraiser. Reflecting now, I realize that these people were in fact my volunteer mentors. They demonstrated to me what it means to be part of a community and taught me to raise my hand, not low, but raise my hand high, jump in with 2 feet. I am not going to jump. And when you find something that you're passionate about, and just do it. As you heard earlier, my husband Tom and I raised our wonderful children, Tommy, Megan, and Maureen, on the southwest side of Chicago. So like so many people that are raising young children, 3 young children, life was very, very busy. But I still felt the need, that pull to do something just a little bit more while still spending time with my husband and my children. So I became a Cub Scout leader. After that, I taught religious education. After that, I coached the 7th and 8th grade volleyball team, right? Well, the thing is, I was never a scout. I never played volleyball, but I did it anyway because I wanted to give back. And my hope was my children saw what I did, learned about what community service is, and one day they too will raise their hand. Fast forward 15 years, 2015. As was mentioned earlier, I found myself here in Falmouth in a new community, retired early, 55, very early, right? Loved my career in healthcare and trying to find a way to get to know a little bit more about this community. That August, Tom and I had just participated in the Falmouth Walk. We walked. And on the way home, we said, you know, that seems like a really good group of people. Let's try and get to know them a little better. I sent an email to the president at the time, Russ Pelletier, and he quickly responded and put us to work. We moved here in September, and by October, we were already sitting on the committee. He was good. I've learned over the last 10 years that it takes a small village to organize this Falmouth Walk, which is now in its 34th year. And a lot of people don't know about it. If you need to learn more, come see Tom. It's through the commitment of the commitment of our committee and the generosity. It's through the commitment of the committee and the generosity of the walkers that we are able to support 13 different charities. And this last year, we gave out $50,000 to these charities. The small act of taking a walk, just like my mom baking a cake, contributes to a larger impact. Now, preserving a lighthouse is more than a walk in Falmouth, and it's not a piece of cake, let me tell you. Coincidentally, when the Friends of Nobska Light started, it was 2015. It was the same year that Tom and I moved here. I didn't realize that synergy until I was writing this speech, and it really makes me wonder what else is involved here. It's been a busy 10 years. Let me try and recap that. And trust me, it's only one paragraph, but it's a good recap. In 2015, the Coast Guard was no longer going to need to use the keeper's house. So they were looking for someone to be the steward to take care of the property. There was a very caring, energetic, and committed group of leaders from different organizations here in Falmouth that came together and said, we'll do this. And they worked with the town to get a licensure with the Coast Guard to take care of Nobska. Together, the mission of the Friends of Nobska Light was to rehabilitate the keeper's house, to turn it into a maritime museum, and to continue to preserve that tower. In 2016, I raised my hand when I was recruited by Barbara Meisner, one of the board members at the time, to simply write thank you notes. That's what I was doing. I recall Barbara telling me one day that Nobska is a spiritual place. I'm like, okay. It didn't really resonate with me too much until later when I was up on site and I saw families and friends come together to reflect, to just talk, to celebrate life, a new birth, to celebrate weddings and coming together, and then at times to celebrate the loss of a loved one. By the spring of 2017, I was fully committed to the mission, and I was asked to be part of the board. I found myself in a familiar position, somewhat awkward, in that I'm a nurse, a good nurse, but I'm a nurse. I've never saved a lighthouse, just like I never was a scout, nor a volleyball player. But Nobska was something I believed in, and something I was confident that my life skills could help out and support what was going on up there. So I jumped in with 2 feet. Not a workaholic, but almost. I jumped in. This has been the largest and most time-consuming volunteer effort I have ever undertaken. But it's worth it. In 2023, we completed the preservation of the tower. The rehabilitation of the Keeper's House is done, and it's ready for a maritime museum. And we transformed that site up there so that it is accessible to all. That same year, 2023, we were notified that Nobska Lighthouse Station, the full property, although it remains an active aid to navigation, was no longer needed by the Coast Guard, and it would be transferred to an eligible entity under the Lighthouse Preservation Act. Yikes. You may recall the headlines, Nobska for sale. Not really. The process is actually much more complicated than just putting it for sale. After many discussions with the town and our board of directors, it was decided that the Friends of Nobska Light, with the support of the town of Falmouth, would apply for that deed, and we did. There were many other organizations and individuals who were interested in Nobska. Our application was submitted in October of 2023, and the wait began. Things take a long time in the federal government. We do not know how many other applications were submitted, but we are confident that we are the strongest applicant, ready to be the final keepers for Nobska. And we know we have a supportive community. A leader in the lighthouse world once told me, you know your community is behind you and that they support what you do when they refer to your light as my light. That's my lighthouse. That's our lighthouse. Now, in full disclosure, my family, specifically Evelyn, Liam, Finn, Jack, Teddy, and even Bird, who's on the West Coast, refer to Nobska as Nana's lighthouse. My hope is that one day they will look back and share my story of service at Nana's Lighthouse. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who has supported me along this journey, to my husband, Tom, who joins me on committees, engages others in our mission, and sometimes just helps me hang up signs or plant some plants up there. And my fellow volunteers, committee members, grant writers, board members, docents and staff. All of you make magic happen. Your encouragement and dedication have been invaluable. Together, we have made wonderful things happen that I know reach far beyond what we can see. This award is a reminder that our efforts do not go unnoticed, and sometimes even lead to remarkable outcomes. Now bear with me just a few more minutes, or seconds even. Remember my time in scouting? Well, Tommy over here, with his dad by his side, won the annual Pinewood Derby. And remember when I coached that volleyball team? We took the championship. And remember just a few minutes ago when we talked about that application for that deed for Friends of Nobska Light? Well, yesterday, I received notification from the Secretary of the Interior that Nobska Lighthouse Station will be transferred to the Friends of Nobska Light. did not do this alone. You know it. This table knows it. That table knows it. Everybody knows it. Our state representatives, our senators, our town of Falmouth, everybody supported our application, and the deed will come to us. We did it. We saved our lighthouse. It is ours to keep, it is ours to treasure, and it is ours to pass on to the future generations. Thank you once again for this incredible honor. Let us continue to work together, uplift each other, and make a difference in our community. Thank you.
I'm so excited. That was so amazing, huh? Wow, that's amazing.
Very
Wow.
exciting.
That amazing news. I'll tell you, that's amazing. For those of you, speaking of it, you know, this in here we left on everybody's table is the cover of our guidebook from this year. And I think almost since at least 2015 or before, we have used Nobska on the cover of our lighthouse, on the cover of our guidebook, because it is such a symbol of Falmouth. So there's a QR code on there, and wonderful. I think you have these displayed, do you not?
We usually do, yeah,
You have them
yeah.
displayed, so thank you so much. Wonderful. Congratulations. Just wonderful. And we'll take some photos. All right, so since it's Evelyn's special day today, we thought maybe we'd sing happy birthday to you, because we got a little fruit bowl. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Evelyn. Happy birthday to you. Everyone's wish came true yesterday, evidently, huh? Wonderful. Everyone, that is the frosting on the cake. We never could have expected that. That was really amazing. Kathy, such amazing news. And I remember when you first took that on and how everyone really rallied. And you know, Falmouth is truly a special place, as we know. It's truly a special community when neighbors take care of neighbors and support each other. This couldn't have been done without your leadership, but so many people were involved. It was really amazing. So thank you once again. Well deserved. And boy, perfect timing, right? It's excellent. So thank you, everybody, for coming out. Before we close, I had a couple of thoughts I wanted to share with everybody. First and foremost, I want to thank our volunteers, speaking of volunteers, who are down here at the end of the table. As you know, we man our visitors center completely with volunteers. Right? Always a friendly face. They pick up the phone. Our policy is a live person always picks up the phone, and we always help people. Thank you so much for all you do. Some of you, I think it's been 12 years, 13 years volunteering at the Falmouth Chamber. It's been pretty amazing. Wonderful. Thank you. This doesn't all happen in a vacuum. I get to get up here and say thank you and kind of do this, but everyone knows the real work gets done by Maura and Susan. Everybody knows that. Like, wow, right? It's bittersweet that we have to say tonight, what I'm going to announce, which some of you probably know, that as of December, Susan will be retiring from the Falmouth Chamber, bringing an end of our 17 years working together. More a little bit longer, but the three of us have been together for 17 years to spend more time with Jay, my friend, mentor, teacher, and of course, immediate former president of the Chamber of Commerce, from whom I'm so grateful and I learned so much from. And it was his vision that really turned the Chamber from a business-focused organization to a community-focused organization, because Jay always said, what's good for the community is good for business. And we followed through with that, and look where we are today. We are collaborating with the regional chamber. They're going to bring all their resources to our local community. It just goes on. It's just a wonderful thing. Jay, thank you. Susan, thank you for all. Wonderful. No easy out for Maura. Maura and I will be staying on, so it's just same team on Main Street, and thank you for all you do. Wonderful. So, once again, I want to thank Cape Cod Chamber team, Paul Nizwicki, CEO, and the team for being here tonight. We're looking very forward to working with you. Our Citizen of the Year award will continue. Nothing's going to change. We're going to have a Citizen of the Year next year as well. We'll be gathering here for another party. So until then, I wish you all well. On behalf of our board of directors, congratulations again. There's cookies around the corner. There's more food for those who are hungry. The bars, I think, are open. The candy is there. Enjoy the sunset. Thank you, and drive safely. Eat, drink, and be... And ferried. Eat, drink, and be ferried. All right, good for that. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to get some pictures. Don't run away. Wonderful.
I want to get the board.